Me also?
No, you're fine.
Snaps?
No,
People snap instead of clapping now sometimes because
Like,
it still
as an
shows your
applause.
joy. Yeah, but you don't make so much
but
noise.
my clap was not for joy. It was just to line everything up.
It's not excitement about what we're about to record.
No, you can do
Not
that.
like, yeah. You can't contain yourself.
No, it wasn't
Okay.
that. Hi.
Hello.
How
Why
are
do you
you?
always say like that? Hi, like 5 minutes into a conversation. It's weird. You do that in real life? You're talking to someone, all of a sudden you say hi. No.
But I'm using this as an opportunity to welcome our listeners too. Hi,
Oh,
listeners.
you're saying hi to them.
Who
I get
else
it.
would I be saying
I
hi
thought you were
to?
looking at me. I thought you were saying hi to me.
No, I'm saying hi to the listeners. This is not everything is about you.
I get it. Okay, tell me when it's my turn.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Sheena Interrupted.
Is it my turn yet?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay, go ahead.
Go.
What?
You wanted a turn.
No, I just wanted to know if I'm invited to the show yet.
You're invited to the show. You're
So
always
what is the
invited.
show about today?
Today, I thought we could talk about something really, really, like it's a hot topic.
You say this every week.
No. This
Then
is
you're
a
like, plants and the
hot
regions they come from.
topic. No. Come on.
Saunas.
No.
Is 104 really too hot?
No. Not at all. This one is a hot topic, and you will agree that it
Lamps, should they touch the ceiling?
Today's adjustment in our studio was the addition of this lamp that
It's
he
also
has
used to feed giraffes.
he has
at the
decided
zoo.
is too tall for our space. But we'll see what happens.
It hits the fan.
It doesn't hit the fan. It's out of the way.
We have a
We're-
lamp that's going to be higher than the chandelier.
Well, the top of the lamp is actually going to come down. That's all you're going to see, and that's going to come into the
I think if you
space.
hang from it, you can bend it to the shape you want.
I don't think I want to do that.
No?
No? Okay. So today's topic, are you ready for this?
Hot pockets.
No.
Is it hot foods?
No.
The
but
sun.
Wait, before I start telling you about the topic, I want to just quickly remind you listeners, if you are tuning in on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button.
Oh.
Thank you. And
You think that's why the views are going down?
yeah.
You forgot to remind them.
I know, because I've forgotten to remind them. So if you are listening to this
Yes.
episode and you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, because we are coming dangerously close to the end of the year, and we had
Yes.
certain metrics that we wanted to hit.
We will not hit them.
I know, but
We will have to make an executive decision on whether the show pursues
Exactly.
into the new year.
exactly. So if you want us to continue doing this podcast, because some of you are enjoying this, please share it with a friend.
Yes.
Or tell people to just listen to it
Or
on
look, just listen to
silent
reruns.
even. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You can listen to these same 50 episodes repeatedly.
You know, we're coming up on 50 episodes very,
Yeah,
very soon.
That's what happens when you do one a week and a year is almost over.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know, it's crazy how that works. We didn't take even 1 week off.
Why?
I don't know.
Let's take this week off.
No,
I'll
we're
see you
not
later.
So this week's episode, we are talking about holding on to things from your past.
Holding on. Why is that a hot button?
Because what is it that you've been holding on to for the last 20 years that caused like the fight of all fights this year
What?
in our house?
What fight?
The amphi car.
What fight did that cause?
We
I don't
didn't
even
talk
remember.
to each other for like 2 weeks
Why? When?
when you moved the amphi car.
Oh, recently?
Yes.
Oh.
And this has been a topic of like a hot topic for us for the last like
Yeah.
20
I'm
years.
ready to get rid of it.
You are?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just figure I might as well fix it and use it with the kids before like
Okay,
selling
so
it.
I'm not look, I know we had like an argument about it, and
I forgot about the argument.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not saying this because of the argument.
Good.
I'm just saying it's like
but what it made me think about was sometimes people hold on to things and they don't even realize why they're holding on to things. And this is not just your car. Your car was like the gateway into this. But can we first start talking about the car?
yeah.
Okay. Can
So
we
I have
tell
a car.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I drag it around with me.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm going to make it work at some point.
Yeah.
And then I'm too busy to ever make it work.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I get excited
Yeah.
and I'll have a friend or someone who's more car adept
Yeah.
in terms of how to get it to work. So we'll get it to work for a bit and then we'll
Has that
drive it up and
happened
down.
more than one time?
Oh, yeah. We'll drive it up and down and then
Wait,
I'll
you've had
garage it
this
again.
car be like it's been able to drive more than once?
Yeah.
Because I've only seen it move once.
No, it moved. You've seen it move in Montreal several times. Like I've driven it on the highway in Montreal.
You have?
Moving it from one warehouse to the other warehouse.
Okay.
First, I got it towed to a repair person who
Yes.
fixed it.
So you've had
Then
this
I
car
drove
for a
it.
really, really long time.
Yeah. Then I drove it to the other storage place
Yeah.
where it sat.
Yeah.
And then it dies in storage.
Yeah.
So then I have to tow it somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then I get it fixed again.
Okay.
Then I drive it for, we're not talking days, we're talking
Like minutes.
routes. Like one route just to say I drove it.
Yes.
Then I put it away again.
Yeah.
So when we moved to Boston,
Yeah.
it was garaged.
Yeah.
And then I got it
sat
to
in
work.
the garage, the one garage that we had access to.
Yeah.
We didn't use that garage because
couldn't. It was manual.
It was a manual
Yeah.
garage, so it was just too much of a nuisance to keep lifting
way
the
too
garage and closing the
Yeah.
garage
So we
every
just parked
time.
this in storage there.
Yep. So we parked the
That was our rental place.
Yes. And
Then-
tell everyone what kind of a car this is.
It's a 19 something, between 60 and 65, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Red amphibious vehicle.
Yeah.
It's called an amphi car. There's only about 4,000 left in the world,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons I lug it around.
Yeah.
I essentially acquired it many, many years ago
Yeah.
because it was going to essentially be given away in a sale
Yeah.
that had nothing to do with the car.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting it in exchange of moving it and, doing some other things, which
Yeah.
I did. Can't really remember now. But I've just been lugging it around since.
Yep.
But it was in our garage, in our rental place.
Yeah.
Then when we bought this house, we towed it to this house.
Yeah.
And I measured our current garage, which is our house has a one-car garage.
But this one
But
was
it's-
automatic. This
Yes,
car.
yes. So we would
This
park in the garage.
Yes.
And our garage is long and wide,
Yes.
but it's a single car garage.
Yes.
So I measured the garage in width
Yep.
and realized that the car could fit if I put
Sideways.
it in perpendicular to the garage.
Yes.
And we could put our other car in.
Yes.
So for the longest time, we had this car
Sideways.
perpendicular on caster wheels against the wall
Yep.
in the garage. And then we got a new car, or the kids were getting older and we had bicycles and this and that. It was getting
It
too
was all of
cramped.
the above. We
So-
had the bicycles that were on the side of the garage, this already tight squeeze garage.
Yeah.
And then we had a new car coming and the car wouldn't fit in the garage.
No, it fit, but it was just extremely
The new
tight.
car.
Yeah, it was too tight. I didn't trust the vehicles to not touch each other regularly.
You can say
that
what
setup.
you're thinking.
No, I'm just telling you.
You didn't trust me to not
So
hit the
I didn't say you can jump to your own conclusions, but so at that point we moved the car out
Yeah.
and we put it in storage somewhere else where it was stored for about a year, and then that storage situation changed.
Yep.
So I towed it back to our house and now it's sitting, but now I can't give it back that old space because it's been taken up by a garage fridge and bicycles and hockey equipment. So now it's sitting in the middle of the garage.
Yep.
Our vehicles are parked outside
Yep.
and there's one last ditch effort because I have a friend who is very savvy with these things
Okay.
to perhaps move it there.
Yep.
But if that doesn't happen, I have to decide if I'm going to put it in some other storage facility
Yep.
or just get rid of it.
Yep.
I
So
think it would be
I-
nice to drive it
Yep.
and then get rid of it.
Yep.
But I'm
I
also
have a
okay
thought.
getting rid of it.
I have a thought. And I
Giveaway alert.
no.
Giveaway.
You can give it away if you want, but I don't think that after all this time it's going to be that easy for you. And I know you're a logical person. And I don't think that sometimes logic and emotion don't necessarily cross paths like in an easy way. So I think that there is, and maybe I'm wrong, but this is sort of how I've seen this situation over the last 20 years. You have an attachment to this. You have an emotional attachment to this vehicle. You're not a car person. You're not like this guy that likes to play with cars or tinker with cars on the weekend. You don't have the time for it. And I think that you had this idea that you could do something like this with your kids when they were older. You could like repair this. It could be a fun afternoon activity. But the truth of the matter is that's not really the way that you spend your time with the kids. And you have many, many, many other things that you do with the kids that bring you more joy. So this has never been a priority. But I think that idea of what it represented was a cool one. And I think that you kind of built that emotional attachment to that thought and then to the car. And it's not something that I ever took the time to think about it when the car was out of the way, but when the car all of a sudden was like taking up this big space in the garage, I was thinking about it like, and I was talking to a friend of mine who does something very similar with her paintings. She's a painter and she has so many paintings that she lugs from house to house to house every time she's moved, and she doesn't even love the paintings as much. Like she has the ones that she loves, she's put them up on the walls in her house, but the ones that she doesn't love as much, they're sitting in a storage box that she just keeps lugging around from place to place. And she was telling me, she says, I have this attachment to these paintings. They represent something. And once I figure out what they represent, then it's easier for me to decide what I want to do with them. I know we're going to figure out what to do with this car, but it got me thinking, like, does this represent something in your life that either a thought, a memory, a moment that you're not interested in letting go right now?
No.
That's it. That was really deep.
Yeah, but it's completely off the mark for this car.
Is it?
The car disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't lose sleep at all.
Really?
It's one of 5,000 in the world.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I still have it. If it was like a 1985
but then
Corvette, I'd get rid of it.
Why isn't it a storage unit?
It has been in storage units.
No, it's not.
Along the way.
It's been in our space, like our garage. Like it's always been a thing that's been in our space. I think that the opportunity to store it somewhere else was what enticed us to move it. We had that opportunity come up. So it was an easy and reasonably priced opportunity.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten rid of it. That's
no,
the
I
truth.
get it out of my space is my point.
But now it's back in our space.
So I'm getting rid of it again. Like I'm going to put it either in a storage place now because the other options aren't available.
Yeah.
But there are more cost-effective options available, so I chose those. Our ability to buy and spend on things has also changed pretty significantly in that period of time.
Yeah.
So is our ability to fix something like this.
Yeah.
So all of those reasons get looped in to the decision, but I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
So I don't have this mental image of, oh, I remember when I was a kid, my dad and I drove in this car and I could fix it and drive with my son or my daughter. Like I don't have any of that attachment to it.
Yeah.
What you're saying is absolutely right. I don't think of, oh, I have an afternoon free, let me get the kids and go tinker with the car because I don't know how to do that myself.
Yeah.
But it's a car that goes in water.
Yeah.
Most people don't even know that exists.
Yeah.
So if there is a way to get this thing to work, it's a cool thing to have, which is the only reason I still have it. Yeah. So now being in a financial position to fix it and store it, now it's a matter of time.
Do you think of this as an investment?
It is an investment, but I don't think of it that way.
Like what
in
happens
that I didn't
when
put
you
in the
get
money.
it? What happens when you get it up and working? If you do, then where is it going to sit?
It would have to be stored, right? But that's a different storage because then it's going to be, if I get it fixed, I'm going to get it fixed properly.
Yeah.
Like everything done.
Yeah.
And at that point, it'll be a matter of properly storing it and pulling it out in the summers and like using it as a summer car.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that if I lost today would really bother me too much.
Really?
Yeah. Remember the watch we bought? I had this thing in my head about a watch.
Which watch?
And we went to the brown one.
Okay.
And we went to the store and you were like, hey, you really love this thing. Like, we should buy it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy to return that now. Like, that was not a thing. I thought I liked, you know, I was enticed by it. I don't know why, but I was enticed by it and I got it. I'm like, wait, this didn't really solve anything. Like, I'm not interested in getting more watches. Like, I've seen people with that. I'm perfectly happy with the watch that's 1/10 the value that I wear most days.
Right.
And the car is a car. Like, it's not even a car. It's a non-functional box that looks like a car right now.
With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. I absolutely love the holidays, but with how busy we are around here, I'm always looking for less stress options. HelloFresh helps make meal times manageable and saves us from searching for recipes or all that grocery store shopping. Just get your meals and everything you need delivered right to your doorstep. And if you are traveling for the holidays or just too busy to cook at home, you can easily skip a week's delivery if you need to. There really are no commitments. A few weeks ago, I was really sick with the flu and we had a few HelloFresh meals in the fridge, and the family actually came together. They made some amazing pasta dishes. They made a rice dish that was delicious, and everyone felt like they could be part of the experience, cooking a meal together, taking care of mom. It was a win all around, and I got good food that definitely helped bring my energy back up. Get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free Sheena. Applied across 7 boxes for new subscribers only, and it varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/free Sheena. Get your HelloFresh today, America's #1 meal kit. I do think that there are things that I have things in my life that I've held on to.
Yeah.
Because I'm emotionally attached to them.
What?
Because they elicit some sort of nostalgia, because they bring me back to a moment in my life that I, want to.
But like what?
Like even like a pair of jeans. Like a couple pairs of jeans from before I had the kids.
Yeah.
The first time I spent a lot of money on a pair of jeans, I remember thinking like, these jeans I'm buying these because they're going to last me forever. They're made well.
And they have.
Oh,
made well?
No. They're made well.
Are they made well?
They're not made well.
They're made badly.
No, they are made.
They're poorly made?
No.
They're well made.
They're well made. They're well made jeans.
Yeah.
They're well cut. They flatter in all the right places. But
But
now.
your body's changed.
Exactly. When I put them on, they don't even fit my body the same way.
So
But I've held on to them because I kept thinking like, after I go back to my pre-baby weight, I will put those jeans on and I'll feel like I did when I was, 20.
I have some stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't care for that stuff.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool to have these little time capsules, particularly with children of our kids' age, where in relatively few years, they will have these things that are vintage.
Yeah.
That, again, it's a matter of whether you have access or not.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much more joy in saying, oh, these were my mom's jeans, when she was a teenager or when she was in her early 20s or whatever it is for Zara. And I have like some pants or jeans or whatever that just don't exist today that are, by some fashion house or something. And you could see that these things are going to be quote unquote collector pieces.
Yeah.
If they disappeared today, do I care? No. But do I like the idea of our kids opening this thing at some point and be like, oh my God, these things are amazing.
Yeah.
Like sunglasses and things like that.
Yeah.
That I've kept for a long time. It's more for that reason.
But when you open them and you look at them, do you not feel some sort of joy?
No.
Or memory? Or like, I'm not
Maybe
saying you
some
have to be
memory, but-
attached to it, but it might be reminiscent of, like there was a pair of sunglasses that you had bought me. I remember really, really, really wanting them.
So the monkey stole them.
Oh, I hated that monkey.
Yeah.
No, they were a pair of Dior sunglasses. They're super thin. They have like Dior Diamantes on the side. You bought them for me for like a special birthday or something like that. And they were a lot of money. But for me, what it represents, I remember how much you looked for those sunglasses because it was hard to find them. You went and you searched for them. You spent a lot of money on them. And it reminded me of just this sweet, kind moment in our relationship. And I don't even wear the sunglasses.
Yeah.
But I've held on to
like
them.
that. I really don't. Like I don't remember those things, like where it came from or what. I might remember a moment. However, I don't think, and I don't know how to say this appropriately, I feel quite lucky in terms of what I have in my life right now that I don't care about a moment from 5 years ago. You're sitting in front of me now. I don't care about how I made you feel with a pair of sunglasses 5 years ago. Like, I care about how you feel today. And I feel the same with the kids. I don't care about a pair of jeans from 10 years ago, or, oh, I wore these jeans this day, or I got them from this point in my life. I don't even associate with that phase in my life or that time in my life. I just think about where we are today. So if they provide me with potential joy in the future, maybe that's why I would preserve something. But most of that joy is not for me. It's from watching, honestly, not even you at this point, because we both now can access what we need whenever we need it. We're not like waiting for something.
I think that there's a different kind of joy. Like, I'm not talking about sort of fulfillment of a desire.
Yeah.
That's a different kind
For you,
of temporary
you're like
joy.
running down memory lane.
I do.
I don't
so
have that.
The other day, I'll give you an example. The other day, Zara and I went to get our nails done. And we were talking about, because I took my rings off and I put them in the dish beside, like in the middle of the two of us. And so she was asking me which ring I like better and how come there's two rings. And so we talked about what each ring represents and how my engagement ring really represents a moment in our lives. And she said, which one is your favorite? And I told her that one. And I said, it really makes me think back on the start of our relationship together, our lives together. And the reason that I love it so much, and I said I would never change it. And, I talked about how over like the last time we visited the wedding band, I actually adjusted my wedding band. I got a new one. But I would never do that to the engagement ring. And she said, why not? And I said, because that's just a nice memory for me of where we started. It's a really nice reminder of how much time and effort and money and all of our energy went into starting and building our lives together. And what we started with and where we've come, I think it's constant. It's a constant. I like to constantly remind myself of that journey because it reminds me to be grateful for where we started and where we've come. And so we were talking about that, and then she was asking me more questions about jewelry and pieces that I've got that I've held on to, and I was telling her about the earrings that my mom gave me when she was born and how I was going to give them to her when she had her baby. And I actually started crying in the Mini Lux, just reminiscing, and the nail tech was like, are you okay? Like, what's going on with you, lady? So I felt like that was a nice moment to share with her. And those are the things that I was thinking about when I was kind of brainstorming for this episode. Like, there are things that we hold on to and they remind us of what we have and where we've come from. And then there are other things that we hold on to and they may not be the healthiest things for us. And I think it's worth thinking and having conversations about whether they're in our best interest or not.
Yeah. Why did the tech think it was weird that you're having this conversation and you're tearing up? It seems like that's an appropriate time to tear up.
I was like tears streaming.
Was she hearing
down
what you were
my
saying?
face. Yeah, I guess.
It makes sense.
She was like, "Are you all right? Do you need a tissue? Like, can I get you a glass of water?"
It's interesting when you think about all the things as an individual that you think you can hand down to your children or to your loved ones or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then you think to your own elders, your parents, your grandparents or whatnot, and what it is that you have from them, or frankly, what it is that you would even want. And I always find that interesting because I may think there are 100 things that my kids would love to have, and they may think there's 2 things of that list that they care about, because I might be infusing some value into something for their benefit, which I try not to do. Yeah. So, you like this watch? Great. You don't like it? Great. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not at an age or stage in my life where I think terribly a lot about these things.
Yeah.
When I look at our own situation with our parents and you think of, what they have in terms of heirlooms and things like that they've kept, it's interesting how the value something my dad might have from his mom or your mom might have from her dad has very different value for you. Like to say to your kid, oh, here is your great grandparent something, in many instances someone they've never even seen. It would have to be attached to their parent for it to have any value.
To me, I did create that attachment. Now those are the earrings that my mom gave me.
Right.
And
which is good. And then it becomes like,
that I give to Zara. And my mom actually remade them for me. When she gave them to me, she took them, she said, I adjusted them a little bit to represent more of what I think you would appreciate.
Right.
And
there's nothing wrong with that. It's very sweet. It's like a gift your mom gave you, and now you have you're creating a tradition of sorts.
Yeah.
If there's too many of these things, I think that's where the value completely gets lost. But also the pressure thing is something to avoid, right? To try and instill some value in something that maybe is not important to your kids.
Yeah.
That I don't think is a good idea.
That's the whole thing, is like we hold on to certain things from our past, and some of them are fine and some of them are actually a little unhealthy.
Yeah, like what's unhealthy? I actually don't think I have anything that I've held on to that's unhealthy. But maybe I have, I just don't know.
In my opinion, the car is bordering on unhealthy, but that's my opinion.
Yeah. What else? Like that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I can, honestly, if that thing disappeared today, I don't care.
Yeah.
It feels more like a lost opportunity, like a lost cool project to do and a cool thing to experience. But I don't care about that. There's no, oh, this belonged to whatever. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that there's a whole lot more in your life that you've really held on to.
What do you have?
I have those, like this stack of jeans. I know.
Jeans?
I'm holding on
that's your thing?
It's weird. That's unhealthy. I don't know that that it's like unhealthy. I think it's just unrealistic.
But what's the point of having them?
Because they just remind me of like
a time when you wore those jeans. Like, was there something fun you
did? They were funky jeans.
Is that when you had like the business membership at Costco?
No,
like those are the good old days.
No, it was like it was almost like a turning point in my life or in our lives where I started to spend a little bit more time and effort and money on things that were better quality or that were a little bit more like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know that it's healthy.
But why do you have them now?
Now I'm holding on to them.
Is it because you think you might wear them again?
Nope. I'm holding on to them for Zara.
You're very comfortable in your current size. Yes. These jeans are not your current size. Nope. Like they're not close. It sounds like from your.
They don't close.
Okay.
Like I can squeeze into them, but they're not flattering.
But it's not fun. It's not enjoyable.
No.
So is it a time capsule thing? Let's get a suitcase or a bag and throw stuff in there and just write 2030 on it and tell the kids, here, you can open this in 2030. It has cool stuff.
Yeah.
And you open it, and if you don't like it, you could seal it again for a year or two. You could get rid of it.
Yeah.
But you and I will never think of those things again, is my point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're going to think about the jeans in the basement in a box. It's just because you're seeing it now.
Yeah.
And you don't need a pair of jeans to tell you where you are in your life. Like, you have your life to tell you where you are in your life.
I don't anymore, but I think when I kept them, I think they were sort of like a incentive. They were an incentive to get back to that weight or that body.
But that's why I asked you before.
After the kids came.
You're in a good spot.
Yeah.
So get rid of things that don't fit.
I mean, so I'm holding on to it literally for Zara, but...
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be in your closet. No. That's prime space. Yeah. Let's take it out.
Yeah.
Take it out. All those jerseys, this, that. We should put all of those in a box and be like, okay, get out.
One thing that I thought that a lot of people do that could be slightly dangerous, like people hold on to their wedding outfits, their wedding dresses, or their
Don't you have yours?
I do.
Can we get rid of that too?
I don't want to. Space. I don't want to.
What are you going to do with it?
What if Zara wants to use it when she gets married?
No. Why would she? Let her. What?
I'm not going to force her, but here's what I'm saying. There are moms, there are women, there are grandmothers that force that onto their children. I'm just saying, if my mom actually gave me her wedding sari and I wanted to wear it. When we got married, I wanted to wear it.
Okay.
I may have revamped it or done something new with it.
Is that what you wore?
No.
Why?
Because when we opened it up, it was like moth-eaten.
Oh, so
But
at least check if this thing has
I've
been a
checked.
snack.
I've checked. I actually would have loved that.
I think it needs to come from her. Yeah.
Yes.
So like you would have loved it if she loves the idea of doing it. Then you have the option.
At least
Yeah.
give her the option. That's
Shouldn't we
why
like
I have it.
like freeze bag it or something?
We should.
So then you don't get moths on it.
Yeah, we should.
I have no desire
Yeah.
for Jay to wear anything that I wore to our wedding.
Okay.
So can we get rid? Are my things still there? Can
They're
we get
still
rid of
there.
them?
We can get rid of them.
Okay, perfect. Done.
The last topic on this
Yeah.
journey was, how do you release these things? Because sometimes you're very logical. You're like, okay, I want to just get rid of it, right?
I think it's easier to release when you have joy in your life. I think people hang on to things because it reminds them of a time where they were perhaps happier. And now they try to associate that, whether they know it or not. I think that unfortunately translates to not absorbing whatever it is that you have to deal with now to go back to feeling more comfortable in your skin.
Yeah.
And that's time lost
Yeah.
to me. Like
100%.
sitting there looking at your photo albums from high school and looking at the, whatever, the jeans and the sweaters or whatever it is, that's gone. Like it's in the past. I don't think there's any benefit in living in the past at all.
I don't necessarily agree. I think that you're right in the sense that there's it's hard to grow if all you're doing is remembering the past and reminiscing about the past. But in the example of my ring, every time I look at that
But
and
that's
I
in the
think about the
present.
past,
No, that's
I
the
see
present.
the growth.
It's different. That's the present.
No, it's not.
It is. You're looking at a ring right now that represents, you're still wearing it, right?
Yes.
Like it's a everyday. Your present involves the ring. Your present is telling you right now you're grateful for the journey. You're not in the past. You're today.
Yeah.
You're grateful for where you've come from there.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you sitting in the closet looking at these jeans saying, oh, I really loved when I used to be this
should do
size. But it's not healthy.
No, it's not.
At all for anyone, because you're living at a point, like, don't live in the past.
Yeah.
Whether it's a positive or a negative, all you're doing is ruminating.
Yeah.
You could ruminate on negative things and really spiral.
Yeah.
Or you could ruminate on positive things. You think that's making you happy for a moment.
Yeah.
But you're much better off taking that time in your current state and trying to say, do I need a deep breath? Like, what do I need? Do I need to call my friend and resolve this issue?
Yeah.
You're running away from something.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time scrolling on your cell phone or looking at photos of pictures from 20 years ago or thinking about something like, oh, it wasn't a really... It's fine when you get together with friends and you say, hey, remember we were on that team?
Yeah.
We had such a good time.
Yeah.
That's the present.
Yeah.
Like you are today enjoying an experience with loved ones that involves history. That's great.
Yeah.
But just sitting by yourself thinking about the past, I think that's not healthy.
No, you're right. It's not. And some of it is a little like the lines are a little blurred of when your past meets your present. Like there are friends that we have from our pasts that we really got along with well, that brought us a lot of joy back then, and you outgrow those relationships. And when you meet, all you do is sit and remember the past. Like that's not necessarily, even in the present, it's not
You
necessarily.
shouldn't even go to those if you don't feel that connection to the people anymore.
Yeah,
Just cut it out. Move forward. It's better for both of you. Like if you don't feel it, you're not helping anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not being arrogant or anything. I'm being sincere.
Yeah.
If you have a relationship that's rooted in something that doesn't mean anything to you anymore, don't feel obliged to keep going.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself. Be kind. Be fair. Say, I'm not able to make this. And then focus on what you care about.
Yeah.
This is for me, right? Like, I frankly don't think anyone is. You can spend your whole career studying things.
Yeah.
And then you have more insight, you have more data into what multiple people's experiences are. And then you can group those together and say, okay, here we have a theory.
Yeah.
My theories are purely based on my own experiences and thoughts, and yours are based on your experiences and thoughts. But for me, if I see someone who's completely stuck in a period of time that's already gone, even if they seem to be happy, like you walk around like, oh, here's a picture from this and here's a jersey from that. Like we don't hang all of your memorabilia around the house. We don't have these things of like, oh, this is when I sang for the anthem. This is when I did this. we probably could celebrate more of those opportunities.
Yeah.
And I try to put up, like in the office upstairs, I'll put up one memory from the month.
Yeah.
But I do that similar to your ring so that if I'm having a down day, I can look up and recognize like, hey,
yeah,
how could I not acknowledge where I am and how I got here?
Yeah.
So it's more of like an inspiration that way.
Yeah.
But it's not in any way to serve as, like a memory board to go live down these old memories, because then you're missing out on today.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a balance though to strike. I understand what you're saying. I think that you need to be present when you have the ability to be present. But I love going through older videos of our kids and watching them and just reminiscing. It does, and I don't think that that's unhealthy.
You do it on your own?
I do it on my own. I do it on, not when the kids are sitting right in front of me, not when I'm hanging out with you. I'll do it when sometimes a memory just pops up on my phone and I watch that, and I might scroll 2 or 3 videos that brought me joy. And those are the kinds of things that I like to go back and watch. I like to go back and listen to. I heard a little voice note, I played it for you the other night, of Zara when she still had her lisp. Like, those things I find are not necessarily unhealthy things to hold on from the past. They're just sweet little memories. But the things that we tend to hold on to, I'm looking at like a stack of things on that table right in front of me. There's so much stuff there from, not so much, there's like a stack of stuff that I pulled out of these cabinets when I was cleaning up. And I want to release these things. Like, I want to let them go. And so how do you do it? A lot of people, they want to do these things, but they don't struggle with how to do it.
I think it's the financial side of it. For many people, it's like, I paid $500 for this thing.
Yeah.
How can I just throw it away?
Yeah.
I don't think it's nostalgic. I don't think it's, as emotionally tied.
Yeah.
It's, oh, am I going to need this thing again?
Yeah.
It's like,
well,
okay,
I have this statue over there. My mom gave it to me when we got married.
Yeah.
And she had the same one in her house.
Which she sold. Your mom doesn't care about these things. She cares less than I do. If I'm a 0, she's a -1. She'll come in, she'll be like, oh, what is this? And you'll be like, you gave it to me for my wedding. She'll be like, oh, I had one of these garbage ones in my house. Someone gave me 2. I gave you one. I was looking for this. I could have sold yours also. No, she's the most straight out.
She bought them.
She's an assassin with this stuff. She's like, why do you have this garbage? You gave it to me for my wedding and you kept it? You fool. You should have sold it. No. I gave you a receipt.
I told her to sell mine too.
Yeah, perfect. I'm selling my emotional memories through the person that gave them to me. But I don't want to
get rid of this because my mom paid a lot of money for it. So I'm like, I want to sell it or like give it to somebody who will appreciate the value.
Nobody will, because you're in a different era. No one cares about these like porcelain dolls. Nobody cares. If you
want a porcelain doll,
don't even message. Don't leave a comment. If you don't acknowledge you want porcelain dolls, because
send you my porcelain
no, she won't send it to you. She's lying. It's too expensive. She's not going to be able to do it.
But okay,
just don't acknowledge that's you. Like, move on. Okay.
2 things that I had success with in learning to release some of the stuff in our lives and in our home. I did that 30-day challenge. It was hard. It was really hard.
You're throwing like leaves and all. You weren't even taking it seriously by the end.
No,
you're throwing away other people's things. You're throwing away. You went to the recycling center and brought things home. Like, that's taking it too far.
That's not true. The way that I did this challenge, I don't know that 30 days is a lot. But essentially what you do is on day 1 of the month, you remove 1 thing to donate. Yeah. On day 2, you remove 2 things to donate. On day 3, you remove 3 things. So then on the 3rd day, you've taken out 6 things from your life. And we did it all the way through till the end of September. So 30 days we did this. So by the end, you're throwing away hundreds of things. And a lot of people don't have those hundreds of things to remove from their lives. But even if you did it for a week, that's a really nice, easy way to remove and release. And if you did it with a friend, I think that would be super helpful. Like, my sister-in-law was doing it with me. And so we checked in with each other every couple of days. Like, oh, here's my stack, here's my pile, whatever. So that was one thing. And then the other thing is sometimes you need somebody in your space, in your life, who knows you well enough to know what your style is, to know if it's evolved, to know what you use, what you don't use. They can say, no, get rid of it, toss it. They're not as emotionally invested in the item or article or whatever.
You're in an industry where you get all like regularly there's things coming through. If you can't get rid of this stuff, you need to change your profession. Like there's just too much stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually have very little. One of the things that's changed for me since we've been in this space, I don't even want to buy anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like the value of things, the marketing of things, all of that is so transparent to me now that it takes a lot for me to say, oh, I really like, I want to buy this thing.
Yeah.
So that's in a way I'm grateful that's helped. Like I was excited to buy those boxers because they were high quality. And like, that's the last thing I bought. I can't remember the last time I bought a
4-pack
sweater.
of boxers.
Yeah, 4-pack. And it was good, but it was a little bit too light gray. I bought the cotton ones after.
Yeah.
So I have 6 new ones.
Yeah.
But I don't want to buy clothes. I don't want to buy things. My iPad works great. I have a laptop.
Yeah.
The desires, I feel like you get to a point in your life where the things you really craved when you didn't have the financial ability to acquire them took up so much of your space. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing because it kept you and motivated you to go and, oh, okay, when I save up, I will get this. I think that's all healthy.
Yeah.
I think you get to a different state in your life where you start saying, okay, what is the point of a lot of these things?
Right. You don't really care to keep up with the Joneses either.
Who's the Joneses?
You know
I don't even know who they are.
Oh my God, the saying. Like,
is that the
keeping
last?
up with the Joneses.
Who said that? What do they do? Are they on Instagram? I don't follow them.
To keep up with like a certain status.
What is their status?
Forget it. Move on. Carry on.
I forgot. Yes. Yes. It's
That's
very
all I
simple.
got.
I think it's very simple if you let it be simple. And then it can get now so easily complicated where you wake up in the morning, you didn't even know you wanted something, and then you scrolled and 5 minutes later you saw 3 people with something, and all of a sudden all you're thinking about is said
that one
thing. The impact of marketing and the impressions on people's minds are so thorough now that I feel bad for this generation in terms of how they can figure out what they actually care about or don't care about.
Yeah.
But there's also so much variety now. It's not like when I was growing up. There's a scene in, what's that movie? 21 Jump Street or
Jump
something?
Street.
22
With
Jump
Channing
Street.
Tatum?
Yeah. And what's the other actor? I like him a lot. Jonah Hill? Is it Jonah Hill in that one?
I think so.
So they go back to high school, right?
Yeah.
And the first day they're walking down.
Yeah.
And there's this scene where he's so confused because he's walking and like everyone has their backpack on both shoulders. He has it on one shoulder. He's like, wait, only the nerds would wear that. He's like, I don't even know it was the nerds. You had these like emo kids. You had poetry. You had sports. You had this. He didn't even understand what was going on. Like everyone was so comfortable in their own skin, in their own groups. And there's this scene in that movie where he's like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I can't even understand this.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like this generation finds a lot of comfort in their own skin in a way that's like accepted, allowed. The pressure to just fit into some other mold just isn't that strong.
Yeah.
But they also have to deal with this crap of like all day seeing things. We spent all day seeing actual human beings, right? Like we communicated with our friends. We saw them. We saw their hair sucked. We saw their pants were torn. We saw all those things. And we're like, oh, you're like me. You wear stained clothing.
Yeah.
Now they don't see their friends all day.
Yeah.
They chat with them. There's filters. They see all this other crap.
The filters
And
are
then
the
they just
worst.
look and they're like, oh, wow, look at this one. Look at that one.
Yeah.
So the absolute like commitment to expression has 2 sides. There's the personal expression, but then there's also this like lack that people can fill now with all of these modifications and surgeries and injections and creams that was just never part of my existence growing up. But now you see these kids, like my 10-year-old knows what retinol is.
She's not allowed to use it.
Yes, but that she have to know that to know she can't use it.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Right.
Like, I didn't know that until 2 years ago. I found out what retinol. I learned at the same time as her.
Yeah.
But her friends know this. They know what skincare brands are.
Yeah.
Every generation has its own hills to climb.
To just put a bow on this episode.
Yeah, you can't.
Can I have a date
What?
where this car is gonna leave my garage?
I give you the full authority to do what you want with it.
I can remove this car wherever, whenever.
Perfect.
Okay,
Yeah,
you heard it
done.
here first, folks.
So it's now your responsibility.
I'm
Deal?
just saying, if I find a place to get rid of it, I will.
You can do what you want, but it's your car now.
No, it's not my car.
No, that's
I do
it.
not want this responsibility.
Take the responsibility or leave it. You can't choose.
I do not want it.
Can I have responsibility for those jeans?
No,
Why?
because I want them.
I offered you the responsibility of I'm trading you a vehicle for 5 pairs of pants, and
Absolutely
you're saying no.
not. I want to keep the
This
jeans.
is why
for
I
Zara.
handle the finances in this house. If anyone trades you a car in any condition for 5 pairs of pants that don't fit you, you should take the deal.
I'm not.
Words to live by.
I'm not gonna keep the car. I want my parking spot back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. On that note.
There's a song from Frozen that's apt for this situation.
Oh yeah. Let it go, let it go. I'm one with the wind and sky.
I was thinking the other song.
Let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I'll stay.
You're standing and standing?
Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Okay, bye.
Bye.